another Ants on a Rock video. Welcome to the Ant Corner.
Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video. Like many people, I had this irrational fear of snakes. I don't know what it was, the look of them, the idea that they could bite me. Whatever it was well rooted. My first time holding a snake was just the other day. This massive snake owned by Terry from Unusual Pets. I can honestly say I was sweating the whole time. This was well timed though, because the same day I was actually gifted a young male hognose snake. I've really fallen in love with him, and I've decided to call him Steve the Snake. Now, doing some research into hognose snakes, they seem like a really good starter snake. A good size, they don't grow massive compared to some. Generally, they have a good temperament and are pretty chilled. They are venomous, meaning that if they bite you, they can inject venom through their teeth. But from what I hear, they very rarely bite, and when they do, they really have to chew on you to get their teeth in. Now, I'm still a little bit edgy, so I'm looking out for the sort of S-shape, classic shape that they make before striking. But I'm told this doesn't always mean that they're about to strike. I need to keep an eye out for other things as well, such as when he puffs out his hood. This is to make him look bigger and more threatening. Now, he's only struck at me once, and I'm hoping to avoid it in the future. I've been told to show him my hand like a closed fist to let him know I'm coming before I try to handle him. This just shows him that I'm too big to be eaten. The trick is not to go in wiggling your fingers at him. Make sure you make him aware that you're there, but don't be threatening. When he knows you're not going to eat him and he's not going to eat you, he tends to chill out. He does love to wrap himself up in the warmth of my hand. He's super strong. Being mainly muscle, snakes can support themselves with just a tiny bit of contact on their body, on the floor, or whatever it's making contact with. You can see why the larger snakes can be so powerful and dangerous. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever owned a snake before. When it is feeding time, although I feed him dead prey, we need to wiggle it in front of him so that it looks alive. This will get the feeding response, and wow, it is cool to watch. This was the first fuzzy we ever gave Steve after upgrading him from a smaller food. We used to give him pinkies, but we thought they were getting a bit small for him. He handled this really well. Snakes have really interesting jaws. They're not attached like ours. In fact, they are attached by very strong tendons. This allows snakes to open their jaws really wide to allow larger prey items to be swallowed. Hognoses need to hold their prey items in their mouth for quite a while to work their venom into the prey, as I mentioned earlier. They don't have massive teeth for stabbing like some snakes. After that, they work it round into the mouth in the right direction to go down easier. It is very cool to watch up close. Steve did get stuck for a little bit on the leg of this fuzzy, but once he got past it, it went down pretty fast. Interestingly, digestion actually starts before the prey enters the snake. The venom possesses enzymes in it to start the digestion process, which is really interesting. And then, of course, it is continued inside the snake. Once swallowed, the prey can take a few days to a few weeks, depending on the size of the prey, to be fully digested. After, of course, he will need to get rid of his waste, which I may say is pretty grim. Mainly because snakes have a tendency to slither around their enclosures, meaning once he's left you that present, you need to get it out pretty fast, otherwise he's going to be rubbing it all over the place. I did think after a large meal Steve would chill out. Again, I've been advised to leave him alone after a feed, especially where the big bump is. But he didn't really do that. He remained pretty active, still moving around his enclosure. We did give him a nice new hide and filled up his water bowl, and then we let him chill out. Don't forget to hit that like button and drop a sub if you feel I deserve it. It helps the channel out loads. He's got a lot of growing to go yet, with adults being about 1.5 to 2 feet long. I'm sure many of you know snakes shed. This is basically because their body outgrows the outer skin, or exoskeleton, much like my inverts. Now, I've not had a snake shed before, and I'm super excited about it, but what do I do with the shed? If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. I think hognose snakes are pretty beautiful. They have these awesome patterns. This is a western hognose, but there's a few different variations, with eastern hognose looking very cool as well. They've got different patterns and different colours. This tiny little nose is so cool, it looks like a little shovel. It's an adaptation that hognose snakes have to help them dig and bury themselves in the substrate. If he was to bite me, I've been told that he sort of nuzzles me with it beforehand, so to keep an eye out for that. He's currently being housed in the box that he came in, although I have added the hide for a bit of extra comfort. I think I'll continue to use this type of substrate as well. It seems easy for cleaning and keeping him happy, like all his digging needs and stuff. I'll plan to upgrade the enclosure as he grows, but I'm not going to rush to do it. I like to keep him warm, but I can't currently offer him a good basking area in this enclosure, which being cold-blooded is kind of important. Much like the heat gradient, they need that extra warmth just to keep them going. I keep the water bowl topped up with fresh water and I spray a little bit on warm days, as my office can get quite dry. Again, let me know if I'm doing anything wrong. I am new to snakes and I am taking any advice I can get. I think snakes are awesome pets, and I'm sure with a little bit more time I will grow much more confident with him as well. I would highly recommend anyone with a fear of snakes get out and meet one. Go to a reptile show or a reptile experience and get hands on with them. They're not that bad and they don't feel slimy at all. I'm sure many of you will fall in love with these awesome animals. Of course, snakes are dangerous. Respect them at all times and be smart and be safe. They can be powerful and they can be deadly if mishandled. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a new one for us. We don't really do snakes on the Ant channel, but there you go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon, everyone. As always from me, see you again soon, Ant fans. Goodbye.